What's up, Casey? How you doing, buddy?
I'm marvelous. How are you, Mick?
I'm doing well. Guys, as you know, we are the Scene Snobs for anybody just joining in. And just so you know now, we are affiliated with Entertainment Earth. So if you guys love collectibles and more, you should definitely go check them out. They have everything from comic books to anime to horror, all types of collectibles. Definitely very cool stuff. I say go check them out. And you get 10% if you use the link down in our descriptions below. You get 10% off your order.
Looking for some of those hard to get collectibles, some of those randoms, some of your favorites that you can't seem to find anywhere else. Check out Entertainment Earth. They will surprise you with their incredibly huge selection and fantastic grouping of random favorites throughout all of fandom. So pop on over to Entertainment Earth and make sure to use the promo code in the link below.
All right, let's get this party started, shall we?
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, joined as always by my partner in crime, Mr. Casey, the Madman Plot.
Why, thank you very much, Mick. As always, it's wonderful to be here, and especially on this, the most joyous of occasions, the ones in which we, the Cuckoo Crazy Pants folk, get to celebrate one of our favorite days, this celebrated Friday the 13th.
That is right. It is Friday the 13th. We love it. Comes around at least once a year, so we do enjoy it. And of course, we're doing this not just for our love of Friday the 13th.
No.
Or our love for horror movies.
Nope.
But we are doing this for our love of a certain convention. This is the State of the Con, everybody. Carolina Fear Fest Horror Convention going on this year, May 26th through the 28th. We have a very special guest joining us. We're going to talk some horror. We're going to talk about the con. We're going to go over stuff that's happening. So make sure to get there, sit down, watch this, listen, everything, and find out the big announcement towards the end of a guest coming this year to 2023 CFF.
An exclusive announcement that you're only able to hear here first. You're here, and you're going to love it.
If you don't watch it or you don't listen to it, then you're not going to know it until Monday.
And if you're not to know, you have to wait a whole weekend.
The very cool thing about this is, since we are official reps of Carolina Fear Fest, we are going to be doing this State of the Con at least once a month, all the way up until the festival. And then, of course, we'll be broadcasting there. We're going to be hosting panels. We're going to be live streaming on our social medias and such. And we are going to cover Carolina Fear Fest for all to see. But we hope you're there to see it for yourselves. So make sure to get tickets now.
Yeah, check us out. It is a blast as always. And we are super excited because the guests we have tonight, Mick, are going to be joining us for their first Carolina Fear Fest experiences.
That's right.
And they are some great friends of the show, and we are super stoked to have them and discuss all things Carolina Fear Fest.
First up, let's bring them in. You've seen him on here tons of times. He's hosted our Halloween special. He's hosted tons of other stuff for us. He is Jason Taylor from the Three Geeks podcast. What is up, Jason?
What's up, man? What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I can't wait. I just watched Friday the 13th 2, and I want to talk about the ending of Friday the 13th 1, because something I just had an epiphany today that I had not thought of in like 30 years.
All right.
Well, I definitely want to hear it.
I had one earlier myself, so this will be fun.
All right. When we bring our next guest on, I want to go over all the Friday 13th epiphanies. But I want you to tell us, Jason, tell us a little bit about the Three Geeks podcast and what you got going on.
Three Geeks podcast, we're live every Sunday. We've done a little bit of a reboot where we've gone back to our roots. We're also talking comic books now, video games. So join us. We're attempting to go clean. Last week didn't work so well because Max didn't get the memo in time, but we're working on it. I mean, by 2026, we should be completely clean. But speaking of clean, we've got an adult show coming up in February with the Petersons. It's a love fest. They read as exotic erotica novels. And, I can't wait to have them on. It's going to be fun. It's an adult-only drinking show.
Oh,
we're going clean, but don't worry, we're not going clean.
Yeah. We're gonna
not for this special.
Bypass this.
We got another
have the
snob.
Petersons on and not talk about sex. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fair. We got another awesome guest here. He's from the show Betting Bros. He is Smash of the Mathverse Smash. He's also from Master Shake's Moderately Entertaining Mixology Minutes. It's such a tongue twister, but it's a great show. You should check it out. You learn a lot about making new drinks and everything behind them. This is Master Shake himself. What's up, Dan the Man?
What's going on, everyone?
Hey, man. Tell us a little bit about your shows and what you got going on.
So, Math versus Smash. Usually every Tuesday. Sometimes life happens and we go to Thursday, but every Tuesday we go live. We talk about betting lines for football and daily football, which is something that people usually need a lot of help with. Both, I call him Taxman Tim. He's my brother. Math on the show. My brother has developed an algorithm, and it has made the two of us actually quite a bit of money this year in football. We're trying to share it with people out there so that way they too can make money. And I play Smash, a character who is kind of making fun of some of our friends in the way they bet. So yeah, he gets to do the math end that actually makes money, and I get to have fun and basically be Rob Gronkowski on the webcam. And then my show, obviously, Master Shakes moderately entertaining mixology minutes. I had to take that title. If you guys know Aquatine Hunger Force out there, those of you guys watching, if you know Aquatine Hunger Force, it's the kind of title that Master Shake would come up with. And so
man, he's pretentious enough to do something like that. That sounds right.
I had to do it. So it's a show that's in its second season. I took a hiatus for about a year to come up with some new recipes and stuff. It's a good show. We make a cocktail every episode. Sometimes Mick's been a guest. I've had other people from this Snob Nation on there as a guest. Always looking for people to volunteer. Jason, you want to come on and make a cocktail, man?
I'd love to, man. Somehow we always get paired on these shows together, and I love it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, good read.
We make a cocktail. I review 6 beers from sometimes just in Michigan, sometimes around the nation. I try to do some specials. One time we saved a dog from Mick.
That's true.
You know, our little group raised about $600 for Brady, a little puppy that needed surgery. Another time,
oh no, we raised way more than 600.
I just meant our small group, Mick. That's all.
You did amazing. You were so amazing on that. And guys, you need to check out this show. It's every Friday night, 7 p.m.
Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. Every time live. I dual cast on my own YouTube channel and the Snob Nation. Check us out. If you want to learn how to make good cocktails and about why you can do it at home as opposed to go to the bar, tune in.
All right. Very cool, everybody. Everybody who's joining in, let's say hey to everybody. So Derpy's here. What's up, Derp?
What's up, Derp?
That's a dope little icon.
Right?
Yeah. Dexter's with the
what's that
is
guy's
that
name?
Revan's mask? Darth Revan?
Which
But
that
isn't
one?
Isn't he that little
Is that his
cartoon
name?
character, the science?
Oh, Dexter from Dexter's
That's
Laboratory.
Dexter's
Yeah.
Laboratory. I'm talking about the mask.
I'm not sure what the mask is. I can't tell because it could be Bane's thing.
Yeah, it's
Well,
fair.
the lightsaber, I don't know. It's got to be. Maybe it's Revan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Revan could work. It could play.
There's the radar
John
himself.
Boss.
Radar.
Oh, Destiny's lurking.
Hi,
Destiny's in there.
Destiny. The demon's
Chris
hiding.
says, let's go Snobs Nation and Carolina Fear Fest 2023. Damn right. What's up, chicken? We love you. We love you, Des. Hell yeah, Fear Fest, baby. We're gonna have a great time. What's up, George G3?
What's up, buddy?
Apologize, I missed this morning's show. I'm so ashamed, but I survived the blizzard. I had to drive through and got 0 reception.
Yeah.
Well,
boo.
I mean, no, not boo on the survival.
No,
Happy you
no,
survived.
dude. I didn't
that's
like.
great.
Michigan has avoided it somehow. We've only had one blizzard. Right now, it's like rainy.
Yeah, that's what we've got.
Jeez. John's here. What's up, John?
What's up, John?
Kathleen, how are
Kathleen,
you?
hello.
Good to see you, Kathleen.
This is Shake.
Mama G.
DTM.
Shake. Dan in the house. Damn right.
Hey, Chris, I want to bartend at CFF. Tell me how I can make that happen.
Yeah, I would love it. Paul's going to be there too. Paul, I'm watching you all
Yeah,
work.
that's right. What's up, Paul? Paulie D.
All right, guys, before we get started, let's talk some CFF. I'm not going to announce the big announcement until later, so you guys got to stay.
Yeah, it comes to the end of the
whole
show.
show.
Plus, honestly, I think you and Casey should share the screen for that.
No. We share this with everyone.
No, everyone.
This is
You're in.
Snobs Nation. We share with everyone.
I want to
pull
see your
corn.
faces
We
when I
love
make the
together. We
announcement.
live together. That's how we do.
Yeah.
Now, also at the same token, I think we should drop hints. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to
I'm
start with
terrible
the
at
first hint. I'm
Let's
going
just
to
shake
start
his
with the
mouth for that.
first
I'm
hint.
terrible at
Ready?
hints.
First hint. It's a person.
Casey, did I tell you yet?
Yeah. You told me this
Oh, okay.
morning, and I've literally just been running through my head. It's
Yes.
right here, and I want to just be like, but
I didn't know where we were at with it because I couldn't remember if I had told you from Beyond earlier or
From
I left
Beyond,
it
what are
alone.
you, Cthulhu?
Oh God, yeah. Listen, we got to drop.
I don't know why I just get
Horror
crazy
movie.
when I get near this house, but it feels great.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna get started, guys. If you don't know what Carolina Fear Fest is, you are missing out. Down in Raleigh, North Carolina.
It's pronounced Rala.
Raleigh.
No. Like the locals, man. It's Rala. I dated a girl that lived there. They call it Rala.
He
Yeah,
dated
yeah.
the
And
one
that's like
girl
saying
that
that
didn't
there's
know
no-
the name of the city.
It's like saying
I
there's
did.
no Appalachia. Trust me, there's an Appalachian Trail. All right, let's everyone calm down here.
I got yelled at for calling it Raleigh. Like I go down there and drink with them. Oh boy, and then like they drink in Raleigh. Oh my God.
No wonder you want to bartend down there.
It's a great time. Yeah. So clearly you. Yeah,
Sorry,
you've
Mick.
been
Sorry.
there.
Anyway, Raleigh.
You're good.
Yeah.
No, it's at the new North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Huge place in the Jim Graham building. Guys, you should get your tickets. Let's pull up the site. I definitely, we're gonna have a good time. Jason's coming out for his first year. Dan's coming out for his first year. We're all excited for it.
We'll have Pauly D there for a repeat turn.
That's right.
Destiny, who's one of the fantastic humans who will be there. Of course, demons who will be there.
The demons. So it's definitely worth coming check out. They're gonna have some great celebrity guests.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Gilliam is going to be there, as you can see. Dee Wallace,
First to announce. Yeah.
Well, they did
Dee
name
Wallace.
the most recent actor.
Oh darn it! That's right. Leatherface.
He played Leatherface, the new Leatherface.
The new one.
Yeah, the new one.
The new movie.
Man.
Brett Wagner, I believe.
Thank you.
So I just want to double check that and make sure. But yeah, I believe it's Brett Wagner's coming in. So they have some fun guests right now. I can't wait. I love Dee Wallace.
I mean, Dee Wallace. I mean, you have the consummate horror mother in all things. It's wonderful. Followed up by Seth Gilliam, who, if you like The Walking Dead, cool. But more importantly, Starship Troopers. One of the best lines ever is he's screaming to his death, screaming, "You like that? You like that? You like that?" If that isn't heroism, I don't know what is.
Oh, he said it's from the last Leatherface in 2003. I got you. I thought it was the most recent.
Okay.
I'm so mad right now because Destiny verified that. I got so much crap for pronouncing it Raleigh.
Well, you'll definitely meet Destiny. She's going to be down there too.
That was like a year of me just getting it from people that went to Clemson in South Carolina. It was like,
oh well, Dan, that's because I can confirm that some people just like to screw with other people.
well, I am. I mean, I was a carpetbagger, so.
Yeah, Yankees.
Oh my God.
We
Not
can't,
the
get
baseball
too history nerd. We
team.
can't get too history nerd yet.
I know, right? Sorry.
I am I am excited for it. So guys, every year Casey and I for the past 2 years, this will be our third.
This will be year 3.
We've been representing them and absolutely have an amazing time every time we go. Just an amazing vibe of horror fans. The guests are great. The vendors are amazing. We've made some good friends with them too. We still I think Paul is coming back this year, Casey. Yeah. So we got to go and hang out with him again. He was
the live crew you guys did last year was great. I love that live stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again this year.
Yeah, we have a great time with it. There's some wonderful panels. Being able to just be there and be around everybody, be in the thick of it with that crew. Everyone just it's fantastic people, man. Everybody's fun. Everybody's nice. They have a good event. It's a wonderful event where they actually have a lot of things going on, special effects, makeup, all kinds of cool stuff. Everyone's in cosplay. There's tons of really cool cosplay. That's always
I will not be cosplaying.
I can't wait to go. I've gone to the Horror Hounds a few times, and I think the horror cons are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Hands
it
down.
is, and it's the way they have everything set up and how friendly it is with so many of the vendors, the haunters that go, things like that. It makes a great experience. Like,
Met
you're
one
not.
of my new favorite people, Paul Lanner from Haunters Against Hate. There,
I literally
across
just.
from him.
I knew you didn't know who
Haunters
I was
Against
talking
Hate,
about when I
like
said Paul was going to be there. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
That's exactly who
You said Paul, and I just immediately went Paul Dunn again, and I was like, oh, I thought we mentioned him earlier, but that's cool.
I would never talk about Paul Dunn on this show.
No, especially not Ultimate Fan Experience.
Ultimate fan experience. Oh my God, there's going to be more fans there. We're going to have to give them all Ultimate Fan experience.
Everyone, you guys are both getting Ultimate Fan experiences.
Oh no, I don't. Oh God, what is that?
It's
You
just,
get hit with a car.
it's just going to be Casey getting run over by the van over and over again repeatedly.
All right, this one's for Jason. Ultimate Fan experience.
And then we stop. We're like, "Hey, are you in the Patreon? Get out of here!"
What happened to Casey? Well, a lot of fans showed up and he got hit by a van 27 times. And
I have to commit and give the people what they want.
Nothing but commitment.
Why is Casey dead? Mick threw the doctor out because he wasn't in the Patreon.
Nope, can't be here. Not for your eyes.
Radar, I'll only bring you beer if you pay for it, man. Like,
Dan, you
gotta
can
pay
cosplay
that.
as a guy who brings me that beer.
So right now, like, I'm drinking a beer that I introduced before the new year. It's called Resist.
Mhm.
It's a coconut stout.
How is it?
This is like, it was that high gravity pack I did right before the new year. So this is clicking in at 13.6%.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure by
what
the
you
end of the show, Mick, I will be saying lycanthropy with a plum, sir.
So what you're saying is we're ending at
That's a
9.
throwback. If you know what we're talking about there, that's a throwback joke, man.
You got to watch Scene
Yes.
Snobs.
Yep. Got to stay on top of the Scene Snobs.
Gotta stay in stock.
So, all right, Jason, you told us you had an epiphany about Friday the 13th.
I
this
did.
year.
So, the beginning of Friday the 13th, they give the flashback to Friday the 13th 1, the sequel, I mean. So, why does she decide to give her entire life story to the final girl? Because she killed everybody else like instantaneous. So why does this girl get the whole diatribe and not just killed?
I'm gonna go out on a branch here. I'm gonna say something that might be a little out of context, and please keep me in line if I'm wrong. I don't wish to speak out of turn, because that bitch be crazy.
I was
Wait.
just saying, like, she's been crazy and killing everybody instantaneous, but she decides to give this lady her whole biography before she kills her.
Who knows? She might make tea
That's
for
true.
an oak tree around the corner. I don't know this woman.
She's
We
like-
only know that she murdered.
She's like, sit down for story time. Let me tell you.
I chalked it up to she like kind of switched on and off with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she maybe had that like setting, because like at one point, if you remember, she's just talking to her, and then like trying to calm her down, and then like it just switches, and then you hear the you know. So I kind of feel like that was just kind of set her off, like it was her son.
mommy.
Also, I mean, like, I don't want to get too deep literary tonight, but like,
Do it.
I mean,
Do it.
so she's embodying that like trope, right? Oh God, Mick, she's embodying the trope. She's embodying the trope that you have an innocent young girl who is without taint, without whatever you want to call it, and she knows this. She can sense it because she's Pamela Voorhees, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She is not the camp counselor that was having sex when her son drowned. So, I mean, the fact that she kills her, I actually think is slightly out of character, because everybody else she kills, she's punishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Casey, or was it Casey or Mick that said the kick mama thing? Like,
Yeah,
so onto something there. Maybe like there's this like twitch where it's like, no, all counselors have to be killed. But until then, she's just Pamela Voorhees with her.
Exactly.
I think so too. I just had never heard that argument. Like, why that particular person? I mean, that makes sense.
I don't think there was ever an argument until there were sequels where Jason existed.
Yeah, I mean, originally it wasn't created with the idea that there was a Jason Voorhees. So
Right. And then, I mean, and I kind of was thinking about this along the lines of you there, Jason, that Jason himself, Jason Voorhees, is almost a golem. in a way.
Mhm.
Like that was the closest thing I could put next to was that
Interesting.
she was able to pour her energy, her sadness, her darkness, all of those things into everything she'd been doing around the lake, thinking only of her son, almost in a way willing him back up. So as she dies, everything that was her dumps into him.
Mm.
So yeah,
think-
kind of a fun little idea. I don't know, something weird and different. I was pretty
Listen,
high,
first-
so
I that's a suspension of disbelief for me, where it's just kind of like, all right, like let's just move on. Let's get to the second because the second one's good. So like, let's just get to it. Like the first one is really good too,
mhm.
but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, none of it makes sense, and there's a lot to pick apart between that and the rest. But you know, 2 is really good. It was also it's the only one that was shot in Connecticut.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, he's
that's right.
Sackhead. Who doesn't love Sackhead?
It's true. That's very true.
Anytime you can call one of those guys Sackhead, you should do that.
Chris is asking, what is everyone's favorite Friday the 13th? Dan, I'm going to start with you.
I am going to be unpopular saying mine.
Do it.
Jason X.
No, well, okay. Jason X has its own place. I just want to put that out there now
okay.
before we get way deep in the weeds. Jason
Okay.
X
I
has
agree.
its own place. Okay.
I agree.
My actual favorite, and this is, I don't know. I'm gonna get excoriated for this one. I love Jason 3D so much.
Nice.
I love Jason 3D so much. I love how much it. You guys that are on the show know, I am somebody who embraces something that knows what it is.
Mhm.
Jason 3 knows exactly what it is. Jason
Yeah.
4 kind of goes off in the weeds a bit, and that's I know a lot of people love 4, a lot of people love 1 and 2. I am a stand for 3. I think it embraces exactly what makes Jason fun and entertaining, and I like the fact that it's in 3D. I saw it in 3D once at a drive-in. So random. They did a double feature of Evil Dead 2 and Jason 3D, and both of them were shown with the glasses,
Oh,
That's awesome.
wow.
and it was great. I mean, like, I loved it. Yeah, Jason 3D for me. Sorry, guys. Sorry,
No
fans
sorries.
out there.
There's no sorry.
Everybody's like,
No
we are
sorries, man.
immediately discounting this guy's opinion.
No.
rest
I
of the
disagree.
show.
Scene snobs don't do that. You love what you do, or you love what you love. We all are about what entertains us. And if anyone wants to put you down, this is the wrong show because
No,
we will
put me down,
unleash the
please. I gotta
dogs.
get off on it.
No,
Oh,
because
well, no,
Jason,
we'll do that later. That's the Patreon thing. That's,
Jason 3Ds has the best opening score of any of the movies.
I have it on vinyl.
It's
So.
it's perfect. I love it. It's not my choice, but I love it. Jason, how about you, sir?
3 and then 4, like they kind of went back and forth as my favorites, but lately my favorite one has been 6. And I think it's just because I've seen the other one so much. And then, you know, we all had the privilege of interviewing CJ Graham a while back. So I really watched 6 then. I'm like, that's the movie I dig, because right now I'm really into like the campy horror, and 6
camp,
is
yeah.
all about the
Embracing
camp.
camp.
oh yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
I love that. And Casey,
Yes, sir.
I know
Well,
what
I've always
what
gone-
yours is. So
actually, it's different because I keep going back and forth.
all
I
right.
have honestly flipped around on this one a lot, and just recently, since COVID, I feel like a lot of things happened since COVID.
Since
Some
COVID.
of my changes in my life, you know, I've gone through some things. You know, I went through a cocoon phase. I'm butterflying right now, so you know, it's spreading the wings. So, Jason X, I no longer hate. Weird. I don't know how
Welcome
that
to the
happened.
club. Welcome to the club.
It's,
Casey.
I don't-
Welcome.
it's very strange. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still learning to live with this. And after honestly interviewing CJ Graham, I have to go with 6 has recently been my front runner. 2 is normally the one for me. I love 2. Yeah, I love 2. Number 1
Sackhead is
mostly
good.
because 1's great because you kill Kevin Bacon. Who doesn't want to see Kevin Bacon die? I mean, every
I
time.
don't.
Did you
It's
guys
great.
see the new one where he's the leader of that like conversion camp?
I did. I
Oh,
saw
they,
it,
them?
them. It was okay. It was nah.
I didn't like
I
the
didn't-
ending.
I didn't like the episode. It was
Sorry
it-
to derail. I just like it. Kevin Bacon made me think of it. So
no, but it kind of works
It will
on the
happen.
elevated horror topic. But thanks for not letting me go for the Friday 13th talk.
Nick, come on, man. What's I
Hey, Mick,
I'm so
what's your
interested to know
favorite
just
Friday the
because, like,
13th?
this is a divisive topic. This is a divisive topic.
It is.
Mine is actually, it's weird and it's funny because it's normally what Casey said. It's usually Jason Lives. And I love that one.
It's
love
not the one with your
campiness.
name in it.
It's not the one with my name in it.
I have a soft spot for Takes Manhattan. I'm sorry. Like the Kane Hodder, when he takes, I can't remember which girl it is, but he lifts her and like, that's such a great kill.
Isn't it Kelly Who?
Camp Crystal Lake Memories. Has anybody read the book? Because I read the book.
No, there's a book.
No, I saw the documentary though.
Okay, so it's based on a book.
Yeah.
Like, it goes into more detail in the book about that scene, about how they shot it. And Kane Hodder is a beast, man. He is a beast. I want to shake his hand. He could crush my hand probably, and I would be like, "Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, I appreciate it." Like, but
so,
Manhattan, I have a soft spot for.
I got a funny story for you about that. Actually, Camp Crystal Lake Memories. Real quick, I'm going to say though, number 2 right now is my favorite. Right, number 2 is that one that just I love it. It's such a good version.
Solid pick too.
Yeah, and I mean I love them all. I'll watch them all as they go, but 6 and 2 it kind of fluctuates between those two.
I love that you and I are doing this right now. Somehow you and I are
I'm on
getting
the other
weird
end of
back
it.
and forth thing. It's
No
really
love for
weird.
4 amongst the 4 of us. That's impressive because 4 is a popular sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I love the
people love
Tommy Jarvis trilogy, but 2 has a lot of fake out kills too, like where you think it's Jason and then it's not. I like that as I was rewatching it.
And it has the funniest kill in my opinion, the dude in the wheelchair down the stairs.
Wheelchair kill.
Oh God,
It's
good.
Perfect. So all right, can't. Shut
yeah,
up.
I don't care. I'm going straight south.
Easy, I don't know
baby.
if you're allowed to laugh that hard, man.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It was just like O.J. Simpson in The Naked Gun when he gets knocked down the stairs in his full body cast.
At least it's better.
He's like,
I can't remember the actor, but like they interviewed him on Camp Crystal Lake Memories on the documentary, and like at least he's better than the guy from Texas Chainsaw in 1974.
Yeah,
like
he
at least
just
he
stood there
was
and
better
took the
than that guy.
chainsaw, dude. And I was living in LA in 2009, and in Burbank they had a big event for for Crystal Lake Memories, and so we went, and what they had was you go in, you can check it out, buy a copy or whatever, and every actor like in the main core cast of all of the movies was there, and you would just go down the line and you can get things signed. You got the DVD or you can get the poster. I got them both.
Wow.
And it's funny. It was a great experience to meet everybody. But I met the actor who played Amy Steele from 2 and Paul. I can't remember his name at the moment. And I asked, what the hell happened to Paul? Where did Paul go?
Where did he go?
She looks at me and she goes, I don't know, man. And and the guy who played Paul that's why I never came back. And they played it off beautifully. It was really funny. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I know. And I watched that documentary is on Shudder, I think. So it's 6 hours long.
Oh yeah. I own the Blu-ray. I mean like I own that and the Nightmare on Elm Street one. 1418 Studios did both of them. So,
the Nightmare on Elm Street one's like godly long.
I have seen both probably 4 or 5 times, embarrassingly enough. It's one of my favorite pastimes at the cottage. I'll throw those documentaries on and then like sit there and just drink whiskey.
Awesome.
So,
that's amazing.
You got the water lapping in behind me, and I'm just sitting there like, yes, tell me about this.
Dude, I worked
I find it fascinating.
Years ago, I worked at the data center that Casey has now been promoted in. And we used to do 12-hour shifts on the weekends sometimes, like every other weekend you work. And I remember, and it gets real slow in the weekend sometimes. So you just kind of sitting there. So I remember I watched the Crystal Lake Memories. I watched the Nightmare on Never Sleep Again documentary. The Hellraiser Leviathan documentary.
Oh, Leviathan's great.
And the You're So Cool, Brewster, the documentary for Fright Night, which is a good one if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And watching all of those got me through my 2 shifts that weekend, like no problem.
Yep.
I love
all of it.
Before we get
I'm
off
curious
Friday the
to
13th,
see what you guys think the best kill from any of the Friday the 13th.
The best or the funniest?
Best. The like. I
We
mean,
love
for
you
some
both.
people, the best is the funniest. I mean, I just want to label it best. Just
I mean,
because,
for classic summer camp kill, I like the whole javelin through the two lovers. I think it's classic. It's a
Which
brutal
one?
one. It's fun.
from
The
one, Kevin
the
Bacon.
yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Through the throat.
I-
Well, that was the pitchfork. Wasn't there one where he spears two people at once?
No, he doesn't use a pit. So Kevin Bacon, he uses a spear.
She gets up and he stabs it through the pillow.
That's
out
what
of
it
the
was.
neck.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
It was the ones on the hammock that I think in the second one. It was the second or third one that got that.
Okay.
My favorite kill. There's some good ones. There really are. Jason, why don't you go? What's yours?
I have a tie because it really is my two favorite. It's in Jason X, I believe, where he picks up the sleeping bags and bangs it against the tree.
Yes.
Absolutely
Fake
love
girls,
that.
Fake girls. It's like holodeck episode.
And then in
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason, when dude's laying in the bed and he unsnaps both sides of the bed and flips up and
Yep.
smashes
Yep.
them.
That's a good
Absolutely
one.
love those two. Absolutely
Great one.
brutal.
I do love the RV face death when he slams
Yes.
her face
Yeah.
into the RV and then prints
Yes.
it perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kane, the rooftop punching the guy's head off. That's a
Oh,
good one.
Yes. That
Good
was a
one.
great one. Oh, what's the one in the boat in Manhattan? He smashes his face through the mirror. He's messing him up in the bathroom. I like that.
That's
That
and
was
it like
brutal.
Manhattan had some great kills. People are unfair to Manhattan, FYI. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like that is I don't care that they filmed it in Canada. I don't care.
They filmed one scene in New York.
Like they have one scene in New York, whatever. Like
It's the
that
joy of
movie,
cheese. It's
it's
pure
entertaining
cheese.
to watch. I
Yeah.
don't like
It's not that it is filmed in Canada. It's that it says Jason Takes Manhattan. It promised something and took place 90% on a boat.
And he didn't take anything.
Should have been called
He
Jason.
didn't exactly take over, yeah.
Jason almost gets to Manhattan.
Almost.
That's what it was.
Jason walks down Broadway and then immediately gets in the sewers. Like,
Yeah.
Jason slides down Broadway. That's
Kane Hodder, though, on the documentary talking about filming that scene and people actually being afraid of him. Like, horror moment right there, man. Like,
That's the 80s, man. They were big. You know,
Yeah.
Lots of fear in the 80s.
Before we
Um,
get off of Friday the 13th, I have a question for you guys. What's your favorite fan-made Friday the 13th film?
That's a great question. Right, Never Hike Alone's good, but right now I think it's Voorhees.
Yeah, the
Never
Voorhees
Hike
one was
Alone, I
great.
think, is the better made movie, but Voorhees is my favorite. It's like a
I've never
sequel to
seen Never
Six.
Hike Alone.
You should.
Check that
There's
one
like
out.
3 of them now.
Okay, sweet.
But Tom Matthews comes back as Tommy Jarvis in it.
What awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
Voorhees is so much fun.
apparently, I
actually-
need to check some stuff on YouTube out. I did
Yes,
not know
sir.
that. I mean, I've seen the fan Freddy stuff because you guys know I'm like, I mean, obviously, like, you know,
You got a thing.
yeah, I got a thing. That's it. But I've never seen anything Friday the 13th fan made. Wow, I need to. Wow, that's awesome.
Dan, did you see?
Jason, that's
did
an
you see-
awesome question, man.
Dan, did you see that they made a new Nightmare sequel with the original actor who
Yes.
played Dylan?
And Dylan did like that franchise is not out. I know this is Friday the 13th, guys, but
It's all things horror. It's Carolina Fear Fest celebration.
I'm
just happen to
sorry.
be
I gotta
on Friday
do
the
my
13th.
Freddy plug is like Freddy versus Ash versus Jason should still be filmed.
I want it.
I read the comics. I thought it was awesome. And if you like it, like I've emailed the Robert Englund like estate a couple times, and they actually responded once with an idea. I was actually surprised. They were like, "No, that's a great idea." And I mean, I never got contact again after that, but
Still,
Because
that's
they
awesome.
just took it.
probably
Yeah.
good.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
take it, please make it. I want to be entertained by it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Please, take it. But it just these franchises, and this is what it's about, is franchises, right? Like because they embody archetypal, not to like jump into our modern versus like classic horror,
Let's
but
go.
archetypes matter because they're built on these. I'm even going to call it platonic. I'm going to call it primordial.
There you
These
go.
primordial needs that we have as humans, and these franchises like Friday the 13th, like Nightmare on Elm Street, like Halloween, they are founded on primordial things, and that matters. And like, that's why they can't die. I don't think they can die off. Like, I think it matters when you are telling stories that no matter who you are, where you are, what you are, you can connect with.
You know what's fascinating about horror? Once Mick sent me the topic, I got to thinking about it. And I don't know if any other genre does this. Like, you can find a horror movie made today that is like a horror movie made in the 40s or the 50s or the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. Like, it's all happening simultaneously. And you can't find a comedy that's like The Apartment today on TV. It doesn't happen. Or you can't find an action movie that they would make in the 40s today. It just doesn't happen. And horror
it's kind of
like
it's kind of like in what Dan was saying. Our sense of comedy changes throughout time, especially with censorship and uncensored. But horror, everything we're afraid of still exists.
Yep.
You know,
John Carpenter himself says it on the Into the Darkness documentary. I mean, like, I'm going to cite documentaries constantly, apparently.
Let's do it.
Like, so in John Carpenter, Into the Darkness Part 1, he says it's all about the campfire. And that's what it is. It's all about the campfire. There are two types of stories. There are the stories that is the other and the stories that is within. And every horror movie that you can cite is either about the other or the within. And like, that's why it works, because every human being can connect with, there's something outside the ring of our light, and there's something scary inside of us.
And whatever we can't see in the dark, whenever we're deprived of a sense, there's immediately a sense of dread and fear that overcomes.
It's universal.
So that is easily
I mean, Chris said it. Fear is fear. Fear is fear. Like, Yeah.
And that's
So
what's kept
this-
us alive. It's one of our number one things. That's why we're humans. That's why we're here today, because we're scared of stuff. And we successfully all survived. Can I eat that?
I don't know about
That's what happened. We all made it.
successfully.
barely. I'm hanging on there.
Like eking by. Can we put that in there?
Yeah.
So
I
let's-
mean, still here. Things are pumping. Everything's fine. Synapse
So
fired
let's,
yesterday. We're good.
Let's go towards the topic then, because it seems like it's getting in tune with it. And I want to talk about classic horror, not so much versus elevated. I don't want everybody to think like you have to choose. I mean, I think you can be fans of everything, but no rules. But it's sort of why does even like right now, so, you know, the horror fans of today gravitate so hardcore to the classic horror of the 80s really is the biggest one. But I mean, others exist outside of that, you know, in the 90s and of course 60s, 70s and so on and so forth. 40s. Yeah. Like everything, like when I say classic horror, it kind of encompasses that, you know, all of that. And then the elevated horror seems to be taking horror in sort of a different direction today. And again, I've seen a lot of really good stuff that I really enjoy. But why do you think that the nostalgia factor is so strong for horror, you know, among the community?
It's like a comfort blanket. It's something that it's just something simplistic about, you know, some of those 80s horror movies. Like you said, most people gravitate towards the 80s. It's just something simplistic about sitting down, knowing that you're watching a bunch of kids go to camp and all of the bad kids are going to die. And then the one like pure person at the end is going to win. There's just something like a comfort blanket. It's a weird thing to call it a comfort blanket.
No, it's true. It's hearkening back to a point when you're looking back at a time when things were more carefree. We were trying more. We were experimenting more. People were coming out of their shells in the 80s. A lot of things were being tried. You know, we were seeing things for the first time, and we're watching some grow, some directors who now are epic legends. You know, we get to go back through that time capsule and watch them move it forward. And that's part of what we want. That's part of what we look for. Every generation does it. Every generation looks back at the previous generation and goes, that was the best. They had it right. It's just what happens. Gentlemen are now of that ilk and era where we're the ones looking back, Scream and before, going, that was the good stuff. You know, it's
I think that's why Scream is doing so well now. It's because Scream is kind of the gap between the two, because Scream 1 is an elevated horror film. And
all right, let's come.
I hope Mr. Shake is listening right now.
Let's calm down right now. Let's not call Scream elevated horror. They've done the same movie 5 times in a row.
I'm gonna cite.
I said the first one. The first one I'd consider. It's anyone New Nightmare, especially New Nightmare.
It was meta, but he did that New Nightmare.
He
Yeah.
stole it from New Nightmare. But
New Nightmare.
anyway,
He was
I'm going to cite my man Joe Bob with this because he talks again in Into the Darkness about how he doesn't understand the nostalgia for the 1980s. So I'm gonna say something that Mick, you are not gonna expect out of my mouth.
Andy was canceled.
No, so okay. We have
I'm
an
not
issue in horror right now. We have an issue in media, but we do have an issue in horror where
Okay.
people are standing on the shoulders of giants. And Joe Bob himself says this. He's like, horror is about punk rock.
Mhm.
And people are not, and I'm not even including postmodern horror in this right now, like as far as like what you would call elevated horror. I'm not including that in it. I'm just talking about how people are, like what Jason said, they are nostalgic for something. And I think nostalgia itself is a problem in media. The Scene Snobs itself is about absurdity in media and what goes on with it. Like, we have an issue with nostalgia. And you're talking to somebody who is supremely nostalgic. I think I've earned that because I'm old and I'm an old curmudgeon. But
everyone here is younger than I am. And
at
everyone here
heart,
felt
at heart, Nick, at heart.
Yeah.
I
I was born in 82. I'm Benjamin Buttoning. All right.
but we have an issue, and that's horror. If horror is punk rock, it should be at the forefront of everything. It should be the preternatural thing that we don't expect.
It's the disruptor.
It's the disruptor, and I don't.
My God, I'm in the glass onion right now.
Love standing on the shoulders of giants. If it's going to be horror, it should be pushing boundaries hard. And when you watch it, you should feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt with Smile.
Mm-hmm.
I did. So Smile a little bit. Yeah, I get that. I did. My problem with a lot of elevated horror is it feels too comfortable, I guess. Like it doesn't prove anything new to me. Like, what's the next step? Okay, so we're talking about gender, we're talking about race, we're talking about equity, we're talking whatever. Yeah, guess what? We've been talking about this since 19 whatever. So what is the future? I don't want to know now. Quit commenting on now because I want to feel uncomfortable.
Like Event Horizon uncomfortable.
Yeah. I want to bring me beyond, bring me to the next thing. Because if you are sitting there with elevated horror, like
a Reanimator or Castle Freak,
I want to know the future. I want to know the future. I want to know what I want to look at it and say, oh my God, for the next 40 years, I'm going to be talking about this. Because guess what, Ari Aster? Everything that you comment on, I'm only going to be talking about a week.
Well, I mean, you have to look at, there are certain things that I agree with that to some degree. I mean, we still talk about Sixth Sense. We may crap on Shyamalan for a lot of his work, but at the end of the day, that one specific thing that he did was pushing the envelope. It was done so well. And that's look, for every one of those, every generation, let's say even be generous and say every 5 years, you're going to get an awesome movie like that pushes boundaries, usually from the horror punk rock side. You're going to have 400 that are made to just try to recapture magic from something they experienced because maybe they saw the same movie you did in Friday the 13th Part 2, but they saw it differently. And whatever they saw, they want to show. And that's part of the beauty of art. It's everybody's eye. So I want to see that. But you're right. Nostalgia does tend to muddle the market. Things get ugly. A lot of money gets spent in there and gets dropped into it. And we're just circling the same drain. So I see that too.
But that's the thing. We're never going to get change in the horror genre if we don't start accepting the elevated horror. Because even if that is today's voice of horror, if you don't accept it, then it's just getting caught up in the nostalgia. You're going to see the studios start saying, all right, let's remake Hellraiser. Let's remake Alien. Let's get all this. Let's reboot it. You got to have something outside the box. That's why I got to give credit to A24. I don't love all of the horror movies that they're putting out. And yes, you know my feelings on the Ari Aster movies. They're beautiful things. That's about all I'm going to give it. But
that's a big
they real pretty like.
They're real beautiful. That is true.
To defend nostalgia for a second, for every, Texas Chainsaw Massacre we get on Netflix, or Nightmare on Elm Street reboot we get an Evil Dead remake, or a Chucky TV series where they are amazing and they elevate the original material. Because who would have thought a series on Chucky would be good in 2022? But it is. It's one of the best things on television right now.
Oh, don't worry, nobody else thinks that.
That's one of the best things on television.
I'm kidding.
But
I'm kidding.
Evil Dead,
troll Mick. Oh my god!
I gotta ask you guys a question: Is Evil Dead the best or the most consistent horror franchise of all time?
Yes.
Well, before we get to that one, let me just say something about the previous, like what we're talking about. I think the thing that really works in horror is that it does change every 10 years or so.
It does.
You have, and it's not the themes. Of course, we're always going through the same themes and things like that. But its look, its feel, and its reach changes, and I love that. I love how it adapts, and that was why my point with like an elevated horror is right now. That is the change going forward. Now we can, you can always fasten it, but the thing I also love about the horror genre is that we can still keep the nostalgia side of it. I still want to see Ghostface go and kill people, but it's not the same or Jason in the hockey match. It's not the same.
Those archetypes are important. I mean, they are.
I want to see the Shape. I want to see him. I don't care that we're done with him. And it was
do you mean Corey Cunningham?
Oh God!
I love that movie.
I know
love that movie.
I know you do, and I have things to talk about you. When we get to CFF, Jason, I'm going to have so many wonderful words to say to your face.
You're no longer allowed to come to CFF.
I'm making a prediction right now. Halloween Ends will go the route of Halloween 3 because everybody wanted Michael Myers versus. They tried something new. They did something new, and I really dug what they did. I loved it. We got to see how the legacy of Michael Myers affected people within the town. Mainly
Disagree, Jason.
I'm sorry. You'll see.
I'm sorry.
No, you'll all see. You'll all see.
Christine is one of my favorite movies. So the fact they remade it with Michael Myers instead of a car, I'm all in.
What? What was that?
1985. You're my guy for this. I never know the year. It's like 84.
Halloween was 78. Halloween 2 is 80, and Halloween 3 came out in 81 or 82.
82.
Okay, so Halloween 3. Somebody was sitting around saying like, you guys will see, and I mean Jason's right about this. Like there were people then that probably said that, but I have some very serious structural problems with the last two Halloween movies. Like, if I'm going to apply a Socratic analysis of what happens in those films.
Ooh, girl, go on.
Sorry,
Ooh.
I gotta get deep in the weeds, son.
Meow.
If I'm gonna apply a Socratic analysis of what happens in those three films, the first one is a complete film. It's a complete film. They were like, "Oh my god, people actually liked this," and then they were like, "How can we stretch this out?" And instead of sticking to the format where we just wanted to see Michael Myers, sorry, Mick, I almost dropped the F.
No, you're good. It's Friday.
And they wanted to see Michael Myers slaughter people. Like one of the best shots I've ever seen in horror is that single tracking shot in the remake 2018 where they follow him from house to house to house.
Oh, yeah,
that was a great tracking shot.
Love it.
Yeah.
The two sequels were disasters, Jason.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Hold on. I gotta say, if like in Ends, if they took out Michael Myers and replaced it with another serial killer, and they gave us the same movie, I guarantee you people would love it.
Yeah, but no. I'm going to argue with you on that one. I want to argue with them on that one because I've made that point, and I think I made it to you as well. Yes, if that was a sequel to Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, that movie
Rise of Leslie Vernon. Yep. Okay,
it does work. I get it. It's Christine. But for what it was and the entity that he was taking over, it made no sense within the storyline. And that's why people are outraged, just because you tried to shoehorn this in to this franchise and it doesn't work. Now, you want to take that and make your own movie. Go ahead. But they didn't. That's my argument.
I'd say they shoehorned Michael Myers into that movie. But I agree. I do agree. I understand that.
But it was like, if I hand you money and say, hey, Jason, make me a Three Geeks movie. And you come back and you give me, a pile of shit and say, here's your movie. I'm going to be like, that's not the same thing.
My problem is, I mean, Jason's right. They shoehorn Michael Myers into it. He's right about that.
Yeah.
But this happens. Like, people are like, okay, here's an icon. And they're not wrong. It's an icon. It is. And then they are like, well, let's put them to the side. Whether you're talking Star Wars, I hate to drop that. That's like the atomic bomb of nerd podcasts, right? Like,
I like
Star
those.
Wars, Star Trek,
Yeah,
now
boy.
Willow, Halloween, whatever it is. They love to take this entity, and they're like, okay, you guys love this, and then, okay, elevated horror. I guess we're getting into the weeds with it. Here's this entity. You guys love this entity. Oh, we're gonna apply postmodernism. We're gonna take this entity you love, and we're gonna do this to it, and we're gonna minimize it, and we're gonna shrink it until you don't care about it anymore. Like, shut up, Ryan Johnson. Shut up, anybody else that does that. You know what I didn't want to see? I didn't want to see Luke Skywalker throwing his lightsaber over the edge of a cliff, because you know what?
Right.
Luke Skywalker, he was an icon for me. I don't want to see Michael Myers put on the sidelines. Yeah, rewind back to Halloween Kills. I didn't want to see Jamie Lee Curtis on the sidelines.
Boom.
Halloween Kills, I completely agree. Like
Yep.
that movie won't be talked about past 2 years. No matter what happens with Ends is so divisive that we'll be talking about it forever. The
Oh, yeah.
Kills is so
It'll last for a while.
2021. Like, even the plot is so 2021. Like you said earlier about elevated horror, we're not talking about it a week later because those issues in society
You're
have
already
already
over
started to move on. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not. It is not yet. I'm just
The man is pontificating. Leave him alone.
like I'm sorry. Like I want people to recognize why people are there. Either be the thing you are or invent something new. But don't try to do something where you're like, okay, here's this thing you're familiar with, and then we're gonna shrink it.
Well, and I'm gonna pipe up on that, because going back to your Star Wars point, what they did with Laurie Strode was something they could have continued on, and we saw it with Obi-Wan going through PTSD. I didn't think I'd want to see that. That messed me up. Yet it was fantastic to watch, and it was done really well. So Laurie dealing with her crazy cuckoo pants in the Halloween 2018 was awesome.
That
And
was
then
awesome. I mean, in Halloween Kills specifically, where they
Halloween Kills, in the hospital bed for the whole movie, because they wanted to have the Halloween 2 feel where it was supposed to follow that. It was dumb. I don't want her there. She's not going to stay there. That's not her character.
I want to see her out there wielding a machete trying to hunt him down, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, she graduated psychiatry for
Thankfully, with Friday the 13th, we've never seen this.
Yeah.
The remake was good. The remake did not put Jason on the sidelines. The remake put him front and center and had some great kills. Like, we didn't see this with Friday the 13th.
If anything, I would say that just made him human again. That's all they really did.
Yeah, with the hunting stuff. Nick, I'm gonna make you mad with this. They Rob Zombied Jason Voorhees.
That's not true, because if they Rob Zombied it, it would be a good movie for half the movie and then terrible for the second half.
They made him human. They brought the human
How
element.
did they How did they Rob Zombie this movie? Did you see Sherry Moon Zombie in it?
They Rob Zombied it.
Was she playing Jason?
Was she the voice? Was she the?
He was behind the scenes holding them.
I hate her too, Mick.
You didn't see her holding the grip. The mic dipped down. The mic dipped down for a second. Okay?
That was her. There was a little picture of her.
Let's take that movie, right? Let's take that movie. Let's take the cast of that movie, that CW cast, which did fine in it, whatever. And
Just
then you throw in
Texas
Sherry
Chainsaw.
Moon Zombie as just one of the friends.
It'd be better.
That movie.
She'd be the
No, it
mom.
It makes sense. It'd be like,
Mom.
okay, whose crazy aunt decided to join in?
The
Come
hippie aunt, the random older sister. It's like, okay, I'm so sure.
I think Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon Zombie's fine. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind her in his movies or anything like that. He overuses her, but whatever. It's his wife, and it is what it is. Nepotism's alive. So
Salem is a phenomenal film.
you are drunk, sir. You need to.
No, I didn't. This is an actual opinion I have. Damn it,
Lords of
Like that
Salem
movie.
is a movie that, it looks great. It's pretty good, pretty well acted. I mean, it's not. He doesn't make like poorly acted.
better than
movies.
its equivalent, Witch.
I don't know that I agree with that, but I mean, I don't care enough.
I just lost it. So immediately, like, the subscribers went like down.
Why would you talk about Witch and Lords of Salem? Like, I watched Lords of Salem with this guy, and just because I was like, I've never seen this, and he was like, oh, we got to watch it. And I was like, I thought you said you hate it. He's like, yeah, but you got to watch it. Like,
you got to watch it, though. I mean, I don't dislike that movie.
Yeah.
It's just poorly written. It is a poorly written movie.
Oh, I love it so much, Mick. It is so atmospheric. And talk about 70s nostalgia. But
the atmospheric is fine. His movies are like on level with Tarantino with the atmosphere. So is Ari Aster's movies. Ari Aster's atmosphere may not be for everyone, but he has atmosphere on his movies.
Absolutely.
It's like physical blows you're giving me there, Mick. Trying to parallel one of my favorite directors, Ari Aster.
Unlike Tarantino, when you punch that wall, it's completely hollow. There's nothing. There's no meat on the inside there. Like, they just need writing partners that maybe they should be each other's writing partner. I don't know. That would be funny to see an Ari Aster movie completely turn into a crazy madhouse 70s romp. That's just so beautiful. And then maybe we should merge those two and make them the new Tarantino.
Dan, I agree with something you said earlier about them knowing what they are, and I think that's why Chucky and Evil Dead are doing so well, is because they can bring in like the addiction story in the Evil Dead, but it's still the Evil Dead. Like, it's exactly what you expect from an Evil Dead movie, and they brought in addiction, which is a big deal during that time, and that movie will continue to do well because it's Evil Dead. Same thing with Chucky. They brought in a story about coming out and what that's like, and they managed to make it work because Chucky is still Chucky.
And to that
end, and I think that's why Scream is thriving, because Scream is exactly what Scream is supposed to be.
So we need to get you two on your earphones because you keep talking over each other. Casey, I want to hear your point. Go.
I was saying to that point, Candyman. That's something that we see as major issues in that reboot and that step up and what they did and brought it to the new generation. I think there's something to be said. There is merit in bringing those stories forward, and there are ways to do it well. Halloween 2018 showed that, and then we had a couple crap movies that showed how not to do it. So, I mean, we have the blueprint, and we also learned that Nightmare on Elm Street shouldn't be redone because he's a pedophile, and that's tough when you focus so much on the pedophile part.
If you remember
the remake.
I like the
remake.
He was a child murderer.
I like the remake.
Yeah, the whole child murderer thing was really focused on like way more than it should have been.
Hold on, you like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street?
You like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, get this guy off the show.
Yeah, that's two strikes. That's two strikes.
Listen, I will stand up for the things that I think are well done, and like the remake is mean. It's a mean movie. It is. They try to recapture the aura of the original.
Yeah.
I think that out of every single version other than the original, it got Wes Craven the most. If Wes Craven had made the original Nightmare on Elm Street in, what was it, 2011? Was it that way?
Something like that.
So whenever it was, if Wes Craven made that, it would have turned out the same. It's a product of the time period.
I have to agree with Chris Harris.
I know it's unpopular, but it's a product of the time period, and like, in all seriousness, like, I like it just because, like, I don't know. It was what Wes Craven was in 1980. I'll tell you that.
Like, Mara almost quit acting over that movie.
Everybody forgets that the original Wes Craven, before the fame, before everything, that dude did the dirty of the dirty.
Yeah,
Don't have eyes. The Last House on the Left. Those are mean movies.
Yeah, they really are.
People under the stairs.
And so I like, would I give it an A? No. I mean, it'd be like a B minus. But
a B? A B? Come on, dude. You're a teacher.
Listen, so here's the biggest
thing. Right.
He's trolling us. He's trolling
Jackie
us.
Earle Haley does a great job as Freddy. He's scary.
I'll agree with that. Yes. No, 100%.
You just said her name, Jason, the lead.
Rooney Mara.
She did a great job as the lead in that film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hell of a lot better than Freddy versus Jason girl. What was her name?
I love that movie.
I love the movie. Oh my god! But the lead.
Yeah, I can't remember. That's true. She was a better lead than her. Yeah.
Yeah, like that film especially the lead-in when they're in the diner and stuff like that. Like,
All right, I can't talk to you anymore.
I'm sorry, Mick, man. I'm a
Monica
defender,
Gina?
man. I give it a B-. It has some great roles. Like, I know people didn't like it because it was mean. It was a mean movie.
Well,
He's
mean
trolling
wasn't the
us,
problem.
Nick.
Mean wasn't the problem. Honestly, it was disjointed. They did not try to go the same direction. What they were trying to do was focusing too much in weird places without pulling it off at all. Yeah, it wasn't really good. I agree.
I agree with Radar. Radar's my boy.
Micro sleep scenes. Get out of here.
Radar's my boy.
Nah,
Come on,
look,
man, do better.
man. All I'm gonna
Is he
say,
gonna make me watch it again? I think so.
no, he's
I
not.
own
Look,
it.
the only
you
good
guys know,
Freddy,
come
the
on.
only good
The
Freddy
biggest
is
thing
Dream
I'll defend
Warriors.
everything Freddy.
That's it.
So like,
I don't feel bad
Wait,
for
you don't like
liking
the first
Halloween
one?
Ends.
Casey, you don't like the first one?
Every Freddy. I will
First one's
defend
okay.
every Freddy. I will.
Dream Warriors is the best though.
You don't like the first one?
The first one's
Sorry, I
fine.
couldn't hear you over them.
The first one's fine. I'm fine with the first one.
All right, I just wanted to see where you're at with it because I love the first one.
Casey.
It's fine.
He's not a big nightmare guy. He's a Halloween
It's
guy, which I
fine.
get. And I think
Halloween, then Friday the 13th, then you go down from there. The list, it drops. But Freddy was one that was too cheesy for me. That's why the Dream Warrior shtick, the Dream Child, those were my jam.
Me too.
fair.
Only for the
I
death
think it-
scenes. That was it too. The story, I didn't care. I couldn't tell you what happened.
I like them all, but I like them all for different reasons. But the third one is great. Third one is
That's
wonderful.
dope. That is
Seven's
dope.
my
I dig
favorite.
it.
I think.
What I find funny is we talk about nostalgia and how it's probably not great for the industry, for the genre, and look on all of the walls behind
Every
us.
single one of us is coded.
Every single one of us. I have Alf.
We know it's
Alf
not
is
healthy.
right
It's
here.
kind of like
House.
so. It's like being an addict, right? So you ever listen to an actual addict talked about whatever they're addicted to? They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all." Like,
Nostalgia.
I'll stop whenever I want.
Yeah.
mainline it.
So guys, we are kind of coming to the end of the show, and we did promise a big announcement.
Oh yes.
And I want to see the faces now and I love this now that I know that you two are going. Even more so, I can't wait. So, guys, the next guest announcement.
Oh, I have a clue. I have one more clue.
Okay.
Before you throw it out there. Ready?
Human.
Don't make it easy.
Nope. Okay. They
Chris might kill you right now. He's waiting.
or them are in fact in a movie that came out in 1984.
All right, fair enough. Yes, we were talking 80s horror. We talk Scream Queens a lot. We talk iconic killers from there. And this guest that is going to be announced officially on Monday, but we are allowed to do it and talk about it right now, is a big get. I love the fact that D. Wallace Stone is going. Seth Gilliam's going to be awesome. Brett Wagner, want to meet him. But this guest is right up there with the D. Wallace, is right up there with that iconic actor who's been in the genre, cemented in the genre.
Absolute scream queen, without question.
Absolute.
Unquestionable.
Ready?
Yep.
Do it.
Without further ado, your next guest at Carolina Fear Fest 2023,
BFF.
Barbara Crampton.
Nice.
That get excited, everybody! Barbara Crampton is going to be at Carolina Fear Fest 2023.
baby.
I adore Reanimator. I love that movie.
Right?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, look at Dan! I knew this was going to be a big day for him.
So
Dan just died.
he did.
Tell us. I want to hear it.
she is
On your list.
my favorite female actress
So she is on your list.
She's on your list.
in horror. Like Heather Langenkamp is second.
Okay.
And you guys know how big of a Freddy fan. Barbara Crampton is the scream queen, in my opinion. She is the paramount. She is what, like, she's done everything. She's done it. She's directed. She's acted. She's written. Like, she is in everybody's gestalt. Like, to use a German term.
She's the person who gets the award named after her.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to a Scream Queen, it would be the Barbara Crampton Award.
Yeah, I would
like
agree with that.
she's up. You put her on your like heroic award for horror. Like, wow, that's awesome. CFF, man.
Clean up on aisle 1 for Dan.
She's phenomenal. She's a great actress. Everything she's been in, whether you're talking about like Castle Freak, or you're talking about Reanimator, or I'm trying to remember the name of the movie she just directed and acted in that was very recent.
Jacob's Wife, wasn't it?
Yeah, what was it called?
Jacob's Wife, I think.
Jacob's Wife, which is great. Like, she did what? She was a vampire or a zombie. I can't remember.
Yeah,
which one it was.
I think it was a vampire.
Vampire, like she did a great job, and she co-wrote it and acted in it. Like,
I'm going to tell you this.
Wow.
You know what? We've talked about this when we did Final Onesies before. I know how big a Barbara Crampton fan was. So when I heard about this, I was looking forward to telling you. But of course, I couldn't do it until the show.
And let's not sleep on the fact that she was in Lords of Salem too.
Yes, she was.
Oh, she was. Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't. Yeah, she's in Lords of
everything.
I'm so glad I got to see your face when we announced it. But the fact that you told us today that you're going to CFF.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, I don't know how to make it happen or whatever. I'd love to make drinks for people there. They have all kinds of rules at fairgrounds and stuff, but
yeah.
Oh no, don't worry. We know some guys.
Yeah.
Know some people. Know some people.
We're gonna get you one of them.
An equipment box, and you carry it around behind us, and we'll make sure.
I don't know, man. Like, I just think that she deserves so much credit, and like, she's up there, man. I mean, you put her up there with anybody you want to put her up there with, and she'll hold salt.
Yeah, I think these two are such heavy hitters between Dee Wallace and Barbara Crampton. I think they both deserve that. I mean,
huge.
I hope they do a panel with them. I hope they do a panel
at the same time and talk
and
about.
I hope I get to be the host of that panel.
If they could talk about actual transgression and horror and pushing boundaries and making things happen, like OGs out there. This is like Tupac Shakur telling people what hip hop was in 1989. This is like if they could get both of them on a panel talking about horror and the future of it, it would be, I'd be enraptured. Like,
God, I can just feel your boner from here.
I know.
It's ridiculous. It's huge.
Boner. Like,
it's massive.
Fell off a truck. All right. Well, guys, we're closing up shop. So let's talk about one quick thing. Jason, tell them when they can find the show, and give us one horror movie in 2023 you're looking forward to.
This is going to be so easy. You can find 3 Geeks Sunday mornings live at 10 a.m. on all podcasting platforms. Scream 6 is my most anticipated film of the year. I'm glad these guys are taking it in a different direction. I can't wait to see what direction they take it in. Scream 5 ended up being one of my favorite movies of last year with a mixed reaction the first time I saw it. So I cannot wait to see where we go. I'm excited. And also you can find me at Carolina Fear Fest, hoping to get Dan kicked out for liking Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. Because that's like saying you like Rian Johnson at a Star Wars convention.
Whoa!
So painful.
No, I wasn't ready.
Wow. We might have to do a real combat with them.
Yeah.
An in-person real combat.
Real combat.
Let's do it Friday night. That's going to be what we're going to set up for.
All right, Dan, the man. Tell us when your shows are playing, the names of them again, and your most anticipated horror movie for 2023.
Every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, you can see Smash, that's me, flexing on the camera, and Math out there showing you how to bet football and make some money. Every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, you can see me, Master Shake, out there showing you how to make some cocktails that you can make at home real easy. The movie that I'm looking forward to the most in this year, it's a toss-up. Potentially tomorrow night, I'm going to see Megan with my wife, which I'm really looking forward to. But I will not be taking her to the movie that I am looking forward to the most, and that is Evil Dead. Oh man, everything Evil Dead for life.
Yes.
Campbell makes a cameo, because if he does, I will basically like implode on myself in the theater. I can't stress this enough. Like, go see Evil Dead when it comes out. Go see it in the theater, because it'll be the experience you want to see.
Just let me know which theater you're going to, so I don't go, because I don't need to get
It's just
sticky.
blood and guts everywhere.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in with us. Hopefully, we are going, guys. Everybody who's watching now, we are going to be doing a special State of the Con Carolina Fear Fest episode where we talk horror every month leading up. So in February, we will be back. Make sure to stay tuned, and they will be playing on our YouTube channel and on the Carolina Fear Fest Facebook page. So make sure to go over and follow them there for more updates, more guest announcements. The vendor applications are open now. Let's pump it up. Let's get the numbers up. Let's go have fun at Carolina Fear Fest. We already have the Snobs Nation is taking over there. It's going to be a great, great time. I want to say thank you again to our guests, Dan and Jason.
Love you guys.
Thank you guys. Always welcome
Love
back.
you
We
guys.
love you guys. I'm going to kick you out now while we say goodbyes, and then we'll talk to you guys very soon. Scream
Face.
I love it, dude.
I love it,
I'm
man.
so excited, man.
That was the reaction I was hoping for.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
me too.
That's exciting.
I do want to make a quick announcement about CFF and everything going on at the moment. Make sure if you want to be a part of it all weekend, get your weekend or VIP passes. No sellout pretty fast. So if you're looking for tickets, make sure you go for a weekend or VIP passes, because then you will be invited to certain things that they're having special for VIPs and such. Like Friday night is only open for the VIPs and weekend pass holders. So make sure you do that.
And make sure, do grab those. They do go up fast. They are fantastically well worth it. We've done panels at those hours for the VIPs, so we know it's some pretty fantastic stuff. And they put on a great show, so it's well worth the entire experience.
Yep. And we're going to be there all weekend, having a great time. Come see us. We're going to be there doing a lot of different things, wearing a lot of different hats, but we will be having live shows and such and more. So I want to thank everybody for joining in with us. We will see you next month, another episode doing this. I'm not going to do the whole spiel of our rundown and everything, because this is sponsored by Carolina Fear Fest.
Go get your tickets.
Barbara Crampton. I was going to say, remember Barbara Crampton's coming.
Remember Barbara Crampton. Don't forget Barbara Crampton. But you'll find that out officially on Monday.
Yes.
But you heard it here first. Don't forget.
Now, guys, we are the Scene Snobs. If you don't know us, we are the official reps of Carolina Fear Fest. You can check us out on the Scene Snobs podcast, Snobs Nation Morning Show, Geeked Out Live, tons of other shows over on our YouTube channel. We're on all podcast platforms. Just type in the Scene Snobs or check out thescenesnobs.com for more. Casey, take it away, my friend.
Boom. Well, we appreciate it as always. Make sure that you are following up with the Carolina Fear Fest and following up with us, and we will see you all next month. Take care.
Take care, everybody.